Do you understand how important building your delts is? I'm going to show you two pictures on screen. One of them is going to be David Lade, who's a very popular fitness influencer and basically has the ideal aesthetic physique. The second one is going to be someone who you will notice is actually kind of jacked, but doesn't have big shoulders. And I want you to look at the two photos and notice that the V-taper is basically gone as soon as you take the shoulders away. Notice how much of a difference there is when there's small shoulders. Because the guy with small shoulders is actually pretty jacked. He has like good abs, he's got pretty good arms, but his physique is missing that kind of V-shaped quality that makes it so aesthetic. The one thing about shoulders is that they contribute directly to width. You can't say that about biceps or abs. So in this video, I really just want to remind you to focus on your shoulders. Make sure you're getting big shoulders to level up your physique. And I'm going to teach you how. There are three heads to your delts. There's the anterior head, which is the front of the shoulder, the lateral head, which is the side of the shoulder, and then the posterior head, which is the back of the shoulder. The lateral head is by far the most aesthetic of all of the heads because it's on the side, which means A, it's the most visible of all of the heads, and B, when you work it and grow it, you're directly contributing to width, right? Because it's on the side, you're getting wider every single time that you work it. This is why I think that the best shoulder exercise by far out of all of them in the entire world is lateral raises. Lateral raises will grow your shoulder to be like massive, and they target the lateral head, which is the best head of the entire shoulder to work, right? And they're like super effective to do. You need to spam high volume lat raises during whatever day that you work shoulders. Do at least 3 sets for 10 reps each set. What I like to do and what I recommend that you do is actually to just continue until failure after you hit 10 reps. So pick up whatever weight you can do at least 10 for, and then just go until you can't for 3 sets. Your shoulders will burn, but you'll see so much growth from doing this exercise. Your shoulders will literally transform and your physique will transform as you do them. Now to work the anterior head, you're going to want to do some kind of like overhead press movement, right? That could be with some sort of dumbbell or it can be with a barbell with weight on it. These are really good because not only do they make the shoulder look bigger, of course, right? But the overhead pressing is also really good for other pressing movements. For example, when you do bench press, you not only use your chest, but you use your triceps, of course, and also use your shoulders. So when you level up your overhead press, you're also going to get stronger at bench press and like, incline bench press and other pressing movements. So it's really, really, really good for strength. Now for the posterior head, I'm going to be honest, I think I have really good shoulder genetics. So I've never really had to work the posterior head directly, the kind of like rear delt. For me, it's naturally worked whenever I do any kind of like back exercise or like a pull up, for example, or like shrugs. The posterior head of the shoulder is just kind of naturally worked for me. I guess I just have good shoulder genetics, so like it's not that hard. But for you, it's very easy for you to do some kind of rear fly or something like that. You can look up different exercises for rear delts. There's like the one on the pec deck where you can do rear flies like that. You can also do some with dumbbells. But ideally, on the days you work shoulders, you need to work all three heads. I would recommend doing 3 sets per exercise and like at least 3 exercises for shoulders. So for example, maybe now if you're doing kind of a push-pull leg routine, so you work shoulders on push day, you were just doing like an overhead press for shoulders, right? Now instead, what you should do is overhead press plus lateral raises plus some sort of rear delt movement, like a rear delt fly, right? You need to really focus on your shoulders. I want you to visualize, literally like close your eyes and imagine the last picture that you have of yourself, that you took of yourself, the last progress picture of your physique. And imagine you, but with shoulders twice the size. Imagine how much of an upgrade to your physique that would be, right? And if you focus on delts, if you really like spam delt exercises and try and get massive shoulders, you're going to get those results. Your physique is going to like literally transform and change like that. Shoulders are one of the most effective exercises for an aesthetic physique because if you imagine the V shape, right? Your shoulders are the top of the each side of the V. If you don't have those, it's kind of like that, right? But once you get your shoulders up, then you really start looking like an upside down triangle, and that is going to feel amazing when you accomplish that. I made this video because I'm going into winter thinking about how I can improve my physique, right? And I think my shoulders are pretty good actually. I think there's other areas that I need to improve more than my shoulders. But I really just wanted to make this video for you to kind of like give you kind of like a key tip or point on how to improve your physique so you can transform over the winter and next summer you look completely different, right? So, anyways, if you got any value from this video, there's something that you can do which is a win-win for both of us, which is to scroll down and click the subscribe button. I win because I get a new subscriber. You win because anytime I have a new insight, learn something new or try something new, I can make a video and directly give you value. Thank you so much for watching. Also, the top link in the description is my full program. That's basically like all my lifter knowledge over 4.5 years that I put into a single course. It's not like these YouTube videos. It's very long and heavy, but it's like super information packed, right? So it's not quite as digestible as these videos, but that's for someone that like really wants to like learn a bunch of like hard lessons, like as much as they possibly can to get an aesthetic physique that's like as good as mine or even better, right? Just like learn the art of getting an aesthetic physique, getting their like ideal like dream physique. And if they want to like skip all of the years that they have to learn, all these kind of like hard lessons that they don't know and then they have to figure it out for themselves, I teach that in the full program. But again, it's not like a video like this, right? It's like several hours of content of me talking and like going over shit. So if you're interested in that and you have the money to actually invest in that, then you should go and click that link and just see if it's for you. If not, I'm always making free videos on this channel about getting an aesthetic physique. This is basically all that I talk about. So if you enjoyed this video, then you should subscribe again and have an amazing day. Bye.